Hey there, it's Jennifer. Today we're going to do some crafting and make some ornaments for my glam gingerbread tree. For today's project, we're going to take some craft ornaments and turn them into a gingerbread theme ornament. So these are just clear plastic ornaments that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. Oh goodness, maybe 3 or 4 years ago at their 90% off sale. So I got them for like 80 cents a pack, and they've just been sitting in my craft pile. And I thought this would be a really good year to use them since I'm doing gingerbread theme on the tree a little bit, and it's a new theme for me and it's a good way to save some money. And now I'm just going to do a little color swab of each one just to see what the colors are going to look like, and then choose which ones I want to use for the ornaments. This one is a chalk paint. It's called French Linen. This next one's going to be by Apple Barrel, and it's the color Khaki. Okay, that's a nice color. This next one is by Crayola. It's the color Brown. That's a nice brown as well. This one is by Americana. This is going to be the color Mississippi Mud. Okay, I like that color too. It has more of a cool tone. That's a little more warm toned. This one is a Liquitex brand. It's the color Burnt Umber. This is more, it's definitely dark, almost a black shade. It's very thick paint though. That could be a nice accent color. I also picked this up from Hobby Lobby at their 75% off sales. There's a brown in this package, so let's test that one too. Very similar to the Burnt Umber. And then I picked up this one. It's just called Pearl. So it has that nice pearlized sheen to it. And I also have this one by Folk Art. It's in the color Shaved Ice. Yeah, just more of a plain white. So I'm going to use a variety of the colors and just see how it turns out, and just kind of go with it and play with it and have fun. So let's do it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the hangers from all of them. And I also pulled out some of these little Dixie cups. So when we have the paint on the inside, we're going to end up sitting them like this on the cup so that the paint can drip out into something and it stabilizes it while it dries as well. So we're going to start with the pearl paint because that is going to be the one I'm going to end up using the most of this color in each ornament. And then we'll use less of the other colors. You don't want to put too much in there because you don't want it to get too thick around the ornament and then have a hard time drying. So that was the pearl one. This one's going to be the French Linen, and that'll be the one that I use the second most of. This is the Mississippi Mud. This is sort of that medium brown, the cool tone medium brown. And we're just going to put a little bit in there. The dark brown, the darkest brown, we're just going to put a drop in there almost as an accent. And we're just going to see what happens because I've never done this before. So yeah, I'm just going to go just a little bit there and see what happens. So now what we're going to do is just swirl all the paint around. And it kind of looks like hot cocoa. Maybe it'll look like gingerbread. We just want to get it well coated in there. We actually may need more paint than what we started with. Okay, yeah, we're going to need a little more paint than what I put in there. So we're back to our formula. Some of the pearl, some of the French Linen, a little bit of the Mississippi Mud, and just one little drop of the dark brown for an accent, and keep swirling. Yeah, that's much better. So you want enough paint in there that you can kind of get a swirl going. Not ready for you to come out of the ornament yet. Stay in there. We've got some big gaps that we need to cover. Just waiting for the paint to move down to cover another gap on the bottom there. You can see on the inside of the ornament there. Can you see that? How pretty that looks inside. Okay, so that closed up that side. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's a little splotchy because it was our first attempt and didn't quite know how much paint to use. We had to close up that big gap on the other side. Okay, there we go. So that's going to be our first one. And that's what it looks like. So that's kind of pretty. Again, a little splotchy, but it was the first attempt. So we'll see how the rest of them go. So now I'm just going to place it upside down like this in the cup and let it drip and get that excess paint out so that it's easier for it to dry. And we'll repeat the process. So we'll start with the pearl paint. Now I'll do a little bit more this time since we know now that we need a bit more than what we thought. There's the French linen, and then the Mississippi mud. That's the one that kind of looks like hot chocolate. And then that really dark brown. Okay, and then we will swirl. Much easier to swirl this way. That's looking pretty. Paint is starting to slow down, so I'm trying to move a little slower to kind of get that marble effect. Okay, so that's how that one's looking. Very different from the first one. Almost looks like hot fudge cutting through there. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's start with the French linen first. We'll still put the same amounts. And then maybe we'll do the Mississippi mud. And then the pearl. And then the dark chocolate. Okay, let's see what this turns into. So you can see how by layering it differently, you get a very different outcome. Yeah, that's just dark brown there, it looks like. Okay, and we'll let that one sit. And then for this one, let's start with that dark brown at the bottom and see what happens. And the pearl, I'm definitely gonna need to get another bottle of the pearl. Okay, and that's how that one turned out. So what do you think? Leave it down in the comments. You think these are more hot chocolate ornaments or gingerbread ornaments? Because I'm definitely leaning towards hot chocolate. It is the next day and we are going to work on painting the caps to the ornaments. I have this foam block that I picked up from Dollar Tree a while back, and I thought that as I paint them, I could hold it from the little legs on the bottom, but then to dry, I just wanted to have a place to be able to stick them to dry that wasn't sitting on the table. So we're going to start with the brown from that 3-pack with the orange, brown, and yellow, and see where it goes and go from there. All right, here we go with the first one. Yeah, I think the sponge brush is the way to go on these. Wish I had some spray paint this color. That would make it really easy. So if you have spray paint, or if you are needing to go purchase paint for a project like this, I would recommend spray paint, because I might have to go back and do a couple of coats on here. And spray paint, you'd probably get away with one coat, I'm guessing. No promises. Sorry about my dog and his toys. He just gets so jealous when I film. And that's the 8 caps there, so we'll let those dry. The paint on the caps did not take that long to dry, but take a look at them. They almost have a copper metallic look to them now with that chocolate brown. I think that is so pretty. This is only 1 coat, so we're gonna go ahead and use them like this. And the ornaments are dry. Look how pretty these turned out. They're all different. Some of them have more swirls on them than the others. They're gonna be so nice. Just show you all of them so you can see what I did. I ended up finishing all 8 of them off camera. There's another. I like it when it gets just really wonky on there. I think that looks really pretty. This one has a lot more brown on it. This one's a lot of a lighter brown. I ran out of the white pearl paint, so I used what was dripping into the cup. So you can still see a pearl sheen in there, but it's not, there's no white color on that one, but that's the only one that ended up like that. And this one, I love the marbling on this one as well. I think those are so nice. So what I'm gonna do is put the caps on them, and then I have this chiffon ribbon that I thought I'd tie some little bows on just for a little extra something, a little extra detail. I'm not gonna hang them by this, it's just gonna be a bow detail. Look how pretty they are with just the caps on them without any ribbon. Move that away. I think that brown cap looks so nice on these. To me, I was surprised what a big difference it made just putting the cap on them and giving them that finished off look with the cap. They look like store-bought ornaments, I think. But let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. And I really think I like the longer ribbons on them. I think that just makes them look so nice. So this is how they turned out with the bows on them. I think they look so nice this way. They're all gonna look a little bit different because of the swirls on there. But how pretty are those? And that is going to do it for our crafting today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. Hope you found this helpful and useful. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Hype it if you really liked it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future uploads. And I will see you all in the next one.